What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Many of you have heard about the massive funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. And of course, many of us have been listening to views of people from the pro-black spaces. I know that I have. I've been listening to people who support the Queen, people who hated the Queen and the monarchy and the UK establishment. But interestingly enough, I have focused some of my attention on who I feel is very, very powerful in the black world, and that is African leadership. And I'm going to tell you why I believe that African leadership is the most powerful, because African leadership can dictate what can happen in the diaspora based on their regulations and laws. Okay? African leadership is the most powerful group of blacks on planet Earth, including those in the Black American community, because they can make or break and forge relationships with their own people and the others. Okay? So my eye is always focused on the African Union, focused on diasporan groups abroad and in Africa. But when I look at this picture here, and I'm looking at African heads of state, such as new President William Ruto of Kenya, Samia Suluhu of Tanzania, and you see that all of these people are on a bus. All of these highly dignified, super rich, super talented, and wealthy African leaders on a bus. However, on the way to the funeral, there is President Joe Biden, who would never be on a bus. He is given first-class treatment befitting of a head of state. Okay? Now, I want to talk about former Kenyan Governor Mike Sonko. Now, he is really interesting because he is kind of like the Jay-Z of Kenyan politics. He wears his bling bling. He's very flashy. He has a few controversies, but he makes a pretty interesting statement here. He says, "These foreigners lack manners. How can they keep African presidents in one bus in London? God forbid something bad happens on that bus. What will happen?" Now, let me just say this. Many people are upset that Biden is having his bulletproof limousine and Africans leaders don't have that. And they're upset that they're not being equal. But now let us come back to the beginning of time and ask a question. When have they ever treated us, and I'm talking about those who have ancestry of the black world, and I want to just be honest because they look at all of us the same. I don't care if you're FBA, ADOS, African American, Pan African, Hebrew Israelite, all of us to them are the same. We are no different. So when is it that they've ever treated us like we were equals? Did you expect that because you were former colonizers, or they were colonizers of us before or in your respective African countries? Did you feel that because Meghan Markle, half black, has married somebody in the royal family, did you feel like they were going to treat the African heads of state as equal? No. And see, that's something that we already knew. We knew it already. So why are we crying about it? See, but here's where the black world makes the mistake, because here's a question that's going to be very, very hard, very difficult, very complicated, and needs an answer. When are we going to start treating each other with the Joe Biden treatment? That's a better question, because we know how they are going to treat us as a group. We should understand that. I'm very okay with understanding that knowledge. I'm not even going to complain about it or cry about it. But the question is, when will we start treating each other as blacks globally? And if you don't like Pan-Africanism, that's fine. What about blacks in your community that you come from? If it's FBA, let it be that. If it's ADOS, let it be that. If it's the Pan-African world, let it be that. But the fundamental question is, when will we treat each other with the Joe Biden treatment? Because here's something the whites know. The whites understand that the blacks don't have a lot of respect for one another. Some of us do. And I appreciate you, brothers and sisters, who give me the opportunity every day to come in and earn a few coins here and give some value in what I'm talking about. I love that about our brothers and sisters, and I thank you for that. And I try to do my best to be competitive. But when are we going to give our people the benefit of the doubt? The same way the whites take care of theirs. Because one thing about the whites and the Joe Biden, and even though the Joe Biden in the United States are a breakoff of the crown, the British understand that Joe Biden is still our people. These other folks that are in the Commonwealth are not. So when he comes here, we're going to give him the bulletproof vest. Oh, by the way, they're a powerhouse, and we better not put him on a goddamn bus with these blacks. That's how they think about it. These are still our people. The British had an issue with Germany in World War II. Okay? Guess what? They won't put the German leaders on that same bus, will they? Probably not. Because still, these are our people. And that's why they rule over us. Because see, for us, we don't care about creating value for each other, respecting our leaders when they pass away. You will never see that for us. And that's why they are where they are, and that's why we are where we are. Because see, when we start giving each other the Joe Biden treatment and say, you know what, I want to create quality products and services for my brother. I want to treat the women in my community, and you guys know that I am very, very, and just did a video where the Go Black to Africa, shout out to him. Okay. He came to Uganda and we just did a video together. Now, I heard some people in the comments saying he's a YouTuber that's very hard on black women. Well, let me go on record by saying this. As black men who will say we are going to do nice things and provide for the women in the community that are worth it, as black women say that we're going to be competitive for the men in our community that are worth it, other groups of people are going to always put you on a bus outside of what they put their own people in, because we also teach people how to treat us. We are not raising the quality for our people to be successful to do anything. We don't love our people, therefore they don't love us. And even if they didn't love us, we could learn from the Arabs, and the Arabs will say that they never gonna love you, but you could at least make them respect you. Let me build on that, because you know what? I was going to Nigeria. As I was coming back from Nigeria, coming into Uganda, because I'm in and out, I noticed a group of Muslim women headed out the country. Now, they wasn't going for no choir trip or anything. They were going to become housemaids. 200,000 people in this country end up in Saudi Arabia. 20,000 end up in the Emirates. In Ethiopia, it's over 500,000. How many people from Saudi Arabia end up working in Uganda? I think we know the answer. How many Indians are housemaids in Kenya? I think we know the answer. It's a level of self-respect that folks have for each other. And see, when we have the mindset that we're going to do right from our people, from the public sector to private sector, then we won't have to start getting mad about why they treat us this way, because we are treating ourselves also that way. We expect the racists to be what they are, but where is our actions? So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Sober Drunk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.